All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the head apostles and elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Much respect to the brothers out there laboring in his work, and also to the believers, to you I say Shalom. It's your brother Aidan Tazaiwan from the GMS Birmingham camp, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to feed the sheep of Yahweh Shai, as we try to get up out of here, man. And in this lesson, I just want to point to the fact that the Lord pretty much identifies a nation, sometimes based on their characteristics. Well, oftentimes it is based off their characteristics. And a lot of times that characteristics are based off animals, all right? In which you have some people in the Bible or nations that are called dogs. Some are called foxes, some are called scorpions, and some are called serpents. All right. And these attributes of these animals are equivalent unto the way that these people act, or these nations. And when you go into the time of the Garden of Eden, when the serpent beguiled Eve, okay, that serpent was nothing more than a man with the attributes of a serpent. And the attributes of a serpent would be, all right, deceptive, all right, sly, sneaky, crafty, all right, pretty much subtle. All right, a snake pretty much sneaks up on you. And if you get too close to it, what does it do? It bites you, okay? And so when you consider that and you relate that unto now, all right, what nation does that fit? That serpent, all right? So what you have right here is a series of fangs, all right? And on the far left, you have a hypodermic needle. All right, and these three are fangs. You have a hypodermic needle on the left, and the right side of that, you have a viper fang. Now, these look strikingly similar, right? And that's not by coincidence. The Lord pretty much makes his point known through subtle clues such as this, And what you see going on right now with this whole pandemic, okay, this hoax of the C-19 is nothing more than that serpent trying to stick his fangs into the masses of people, and mainly so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, all right? And that serpent today would be no other than Esau, who is the so-called white man today. His biblical nationality is Esau, that ancient serpent. And you can see the similarities from this hypodermic needle, which is designed to inject and shoot into you, all right, some kind of substance. And so is a fang. Now, when you get stuck with a damn viper fang, all right, your body starts to react in a negative way, all right, because you have been what? You've been poisoned. And that's no different from this needle, this hypodermic needle. So when you go to this article from yahoonews.com, it says C-19 vaccine may have unpleasant side effects. What the fuck? What does that mean? C-19 vaccine may have unpleasant side effects. Now, this vaccine was supposed to do what? To cure this so-called disease, all right? But as you can see, it's going to have, for certainty, unpleasant side effects. Now, when you inject something in your body that's not supposed to be there, then your body tries to reject it, and it reacts in the form of, fevers, chills. Okay, you develop fatigue and all those symptoms. It's because your immune system is trying to fight off some poison that was put in you. And so that's why Esau is known as a serpent. The so-called white man is known as a serpent. He's trying to bite you with his fangs. And when you look at our people, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, they put their trust in this serpent. Okay, they're going to they're right now they're being beguiled by the serpent again. All right, in which they're going to be set up into going to getting these vaccines, and when they get them, that's equivalent to this serpent biting them. You see that with this poison. So let's read some of this real quick, and then we'll grab some scripture. It says Pfizer is expected to seek federal permission to the release of the C-19 vaccine by the end of November, a move that holds promise for quelling the pandemic, but also sets up a tight time frame to make sure consumers understand what it would mean to get the shots. It says the vaccine and likely most others will require 2 doses to work, injections that must be given weeks apart. Company protocols show scientists anticipate that the shots will cause innovating flu-like side effects, including sore arms, right, muscle aches, and fever that could last days and temporarily sideline some people from work or school. Now, why the hell would someone want to get a vaccine that's going to potentially sideline them from work or school and get them the damn flu, pretty much, all right? So this is almost like they're giving you the damn C-19 virus, you see? Instead of you already having it or being protected from it by this damn vaccine. And this is that serpent, all right? This is that serpent. When he bites you, he's letting you know right off the bat. You might have these side effects, but what does that mean? It says that will mean that it's working, all right? And these vaccines obviously have different components, you know, different abominations, I would say, that's mixed into these vaccines that cause your body to reject whatever's in there. And also, it also has nanotechnology, which is going to be ready for the ultimate bite, which is RFID microchip. You see? So, yeah, pretty much, if you take this vaccine, then you're going to develop symptoms because you've been bitten by a serpent. All right? Now, when you go to the book of Genesis, 3rd chapter, right, the first verse, it says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh had made. And he said unto the woman, Yeah, hath the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden." All right, so this serpent, of course, was a man with the attributes of a serpent, who was more subtle than any beast of the field. And these beasts represents the other nations, all right, in the field, which means the world, okay? If you don't have the knowledge and the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, then you're considered a beast, all right? So the serpent, let's click on that word serpent and see what we get, all right? All right, you get the serpent, snake. Let's get the root word, the etymology. All right, it says to practice divination, divine observed signs learned by experience. It says to diligently observe, to practice fortune telling, take as an omen, to practice divination, to observe the signs or omens. All right. Strong's definition, it says to whisper a magic spell, generally to prognosticate. Certainly divine enchanter use enchantment learned by experience. And pretty much this is talking about a witch, a deceiver. And that's the attribute of a damn serpent. So there you go. Now going back into the word subtle. Let's click on subtle because it was more subtle than any other beast of the field, any other nation, right? So subtle means what? Subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, okay? Cunning, all right? Cunning, usually in a bad sense. Crafty, prudent, subtle. See that? So let's see what the root words say. Let's click on that. To be subtle, to be shrewd, to be crafty, beware, take crafty counsel. Those key words, crafty counsel. And that's what you see now with this whole C virus hoax. That's a crafty counsel. Be prudent, to be crafty, be subtle. All right. To be crafty, pretty much. Let's see. So yeah, this serpent was a trickster. All right, this nigga deceived Eve through his philosophies. All right, let's further read this again. Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh had made. And he, the serpent, said unto the woman, Yeah, hath the Most High said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And eating just to mean to digest a philosophy. And these trees represents different nations also. All right, you have a family tree, right? Everything starts from a seed and it grows and it becomes branches. All right, you have a family tree. So he says, shall you not eat, which means to take on the philosophy of every nation of the garden. That's pretty much what he said, because Adam was given the law, statutes, and commandments to follow the Most High's ways and not the ways of these other nations. And it's the same now, all right? And this serpent came up and he beguiled Eve, and Eve passed that philosophy on to Adam, okay? And he caused Adam to sin against the Most High by disobeying his commandments, okay? So that's what the devil and the Satan does, and that's what he's doing now. So from now, let's go to the book of Psalms 140, start at verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, deliver me, O Yahweh Bashim Shai, from the evil man. Who was the evil man? Esau, the serpent. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagineth mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. The so-called white man. Everything that this man has gotten has been by the way of war. All right. Verse 3, they have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips, just like in the time of the garden. You see that? So they sharpen their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips, their philosophies. Keep me, O Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my goings. The proud, who was the proud? Who was the most proudest nation on this earth? All right, there you go. The proud have hid a snare for me and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. That's with this new order. All right. And so these elites have set up a crafty counsel, as we got in the definition of the serpent. Okay. A crafty counsel against our people. All right. Or against the world. Psalms 83:1 says, keep not thy silence, O the Most High, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O the Most High. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. So there's other nations that hate the Most High. Why? It's because the Most High has a chosen nation, and they weren't chosen. So they hate the Most High and his chosen people, which would be the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel. We just got that definition in that word serpent. You see, they have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you. That's all these United Nations currently, all right, who have come into an agreement to cut you off from being a nation. And the first one on that list is who? The tabernacles of Edom. Edom, Esau, the so-called white man who was given the world to rule in wickedness, according to the book of Job 9:24. So that crafty counsel comes from Esau, Edom, that old serpent. You see that? And so from there, let's go to Psalms 58. Verse 2, it says, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye wear the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So this is a corrupt seed. And this wicked is talking about Esau, Edom. They are a corrupt seed from the beginning of the womb. They go about speaking lies. Verse 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Their philosophies, you see, they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth for ear, which will now hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. All right, you talking about a man that can't get right. There's no taming Esau. He's not going to listen to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Shai. So there's no charming a deaf adder. Verse 6, break their teeth, O Yahweh, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. All right, and they're also called the young lions also because they devour. Esau is the ultimate predator right now, and we are the prey, you see. And so, let's see, from now, you should get a better understanding of who the damn serpent is, you see. This represents Esau. Esau's attribute of being that damn snake, the so-called white man. All right, he is that death adder. See that? So from now, let's go to Sirach, 12th chapter. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 12 and 13 says, "Who would pity a trauma that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast?" So who's going to pity someone who trusts in this damn serpent? Esau, who trusts in this system that was created by the serpent. All right, you trust in what this man is saying on his media, his television. All this stuff is witchcraft and enchantment, as you got in the definition of the serpent. All this stuff is used to put fear in you and to draw you in and to trust in whatever they tell you to do. And eventually you're going to have to take this vaccination unless you depart from this serpent and his ways and you return back into Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So who's going to pity you that is bitten with a serpent, or is any such as come now by a beast? So one that go to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Yeah, so if you trusting in him, hey, who's and just like I say, man, hey, we're not gonna give a damn about you 2/3 because we try to warn you that this man was a snake. All right. It says verse 15, "For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit." And that's Bill Gates and Fauci, that's Trump, that's Joe Biden. All these people are the seed of Satan. They are that serpent seed that wants to destroy the holy people, all right, in the midst of their new world order, because they want to rule forever. They understand that the Lord is coming back to take them out of power, man. And it's in their best interest to smile in your face and to get you to trust them so they can secretly overthrow you. You see that? It goes on to say, all right, he imagine how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. All right? His adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. See? So, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans have been put at the forefront as the problem of this C-19, and it's affecting you most. And so, the adversity is upon you, and therefore, they're going to come to you first. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. Okay? And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. All right, so he's pretending to help you, but yet he's trying to destroy you. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. You see that? And this is that damn devil, man. All right? This is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Yeah, let's go to Sirach 14 real quick. Verse 7, "And if he do it good, he doeth it unwillingly." All right, your stimulus checks that you were getting, your assistance from the government, all this stuff was set up for you to depend on the government. They're going to shut down all these jobs. All right, that's what this C-19 is for also. When they lock these cities down, they're going to shut down the rest of these jobs. And they're going to make you depend on the government with these stimulus checks. And ultimately, if you're going to have to get these vaccines in order for you to keep getting checks, because all these jobs are going to be gone. All right. And so that's that crafty counsel that they're taking against you people. They're getting you to trust more and more into the government so that when the time of trouble comes and you have no other options, you're going to have to take that vaccine, and eventually you're going to have to take that chip. All right. So that's you putting your trust into the so-called white man and him putting them fangs in you. All right. Because you trust in the system. But for the elect, we're not going to trust in that. We know that we have one power, which is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And he's going to look after his elect during that time, you see. So we're going to have hope in that day. Meanwhile, the world, hey, they're going to bend over backwards, you see. So, verse 7 again, "And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly. And at last he will declare his wickedness." And that's what you're about to see. He's about to declare his wickedness. He's been showing you that he's nice. He's been getting your trust. And now that he's got your trust, he's gonna turn around. He's gonna bite you. All right, and that's where we at. So, yeah, that's that old serpent, man. That's him. The devil and Satan. All right. So the Lord leaves behind subtle clues to let you know who is who. And this is definitely the so-called white man who wants to put a needle in one on the earth. All right. They're at the forefront of everything. So that Lord willing, you will edify. Until next time, I say, Shalom.